Russian engineers arrive at Jakarta Steel Company for technical audit. Boosting tourism, FCT administration plans erection of tallest Christmas light tree in Africa. Hello and welcome to the news desk at the news at 10 on Nta News24. We're reaching you live from Abuja. I'm Olajide Bello. Many thanks for joining us. The Rural Electrification Agency must redouble efforts to ensure Nigerians get more access to electricity. Vice President Kashim Shettima gave the charge at the agency secures a grant of $750 million from the World Bank and African Development Bank (AFDB) for rural electrification projects across Nigeria. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila reports.
Vice President Kashim Shettima at the meeting granted the Rural Electrification Agency's request to enter into partnership with the National Economic Council in order to have access to state governors and engage them in the drive to light up rural and urban settlements. He commended the agency for doing an outstanding job, taking into cognizance its effort in several other sectors. The Vice President advised the agency to keep Nigerians abreast with ongoing efforts to address electricity deficit in the country. Managing Director of the agency, Abba Aliyu, listed 4 main sources of funding for the agency, including the World Bank, the Africa Development Bank, and electricity market, which is the excess revenue of the liquidator and grants, which comes from partnership with international development partners, where funds are normally provided to develop different models and concepts in the country.
Where REA is working in deploying 7 hybrid mini-grid in 7 universities and 2 teaching hospitals, most of which are almost completed, one of which in Maiduguri, a 12 megawatt that is providing electricity to the university, the teaching hospital, and the water treatment plant within the Maiduguri metropolitan. The Electricity Act that has been signed has mandated the REA to develop an electrification plan, which will help in creating coordination and integrating both the subnational towards a common pathway of developing electricity and addressing the electricity challenge in the country.
The new management of the agency is focusing on 6 key strategic areas: the National Electrification and Strategic Implementation Plan, which outlines the framework that aligns with the federal government's vision of a sustainable and inclusive energy, as well as streamlining the coordination between the subnationals towards the implementation of electrification across the country. From the State House, Abdurrahman Jibrila, NTA News.
Nigeria and the Republic of Equatorial Guinea have pledged to work closely at both bilateral and multilateral levels to explore areas of mutual relationship that will spur economic growth, enhance security and stability in Africa. This was when President Bola Tinubu led a high-level delegation on a state visit to President of Republic of Equatorial Guinea, Teodoro Obiang Basogo, on his invitation. A joint statement by Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, and his Equatorial Guinean counterpart, Simeon Oyono Esono, says the state visit availed the 2 heads of state opportunity to sign the bilateral agreement on the construction and operation of the Gulf of Guinea pipeline that will facilitate trade in natural gas between the 2 countries and global markets. In addition, the agreement will facilitate the development of gas resources, accelerate industrialization and enhance energy security. Both delegations committed to holding the 6th Joint Cooperation Commission to facilitate the signing of additional bilateral agreements while monitoring the implementation of agreements that have already been signed. Similarly, Equatorial Guinea promised to support ECOWAS and AU in addressing security concerns, especially piracy in the maritime domain and other threats, as well as foreign interference in Africa. The heads of state also agreed to explore various initiatives tabled by the Gulf of Guinea Commission member states aimed at improving coordination, as reiterated calls for an African permanent seat on the UN Security Council at international level. Nigeria and Equatorial Guinea pledged their commitment to further support the United Nations 2030 Agenda and the African Union's Agenda 2063. The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, accompanied by the Finance Minister Wale Adun, commissioned another construction project of Ultra Modern Diagnostic Center at the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital, Bauchi. The project, according to the Minister, is part of the Tinubu Renewed Hope agenda towards ensuring access to quality healthcare service delivery across the country. Awal Abdullahi reports.
The Ultramodern Oncology and Diagnostic Center project will include laboratory tests, endoscopic examination and surgery for full diagnostic services in partnership with the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority. The facility at the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Teaching Hospital is to complement other centers in the country in the area of providing effective and quality healthcare services, especially for treatment of cancer.
In just 1 year, Mr. President has done what has not been done in the history of this country in the health sector. He's launched many initiatives, and building on what MedServ has done, we are seeing 10 major infrastructural projects. The groundbreaking is happening. Not talk, but in 12 months we will start opening them all across Nigeria.
That is the way in which together, under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the economy will grow, become more productive, create more jobs, and reduce poverty.
We are grateful to Mr. President for what he has done to Bauchi. We are ready to collaborate with you. We are ready to give all the support for all these programs to be done. Already we have surrendered our general hospital in Misau for the provision of the Federal Medical Center.
The ministers were earlier at the government house and the Bauchi Emir's palace, where the Emir of Bauchi, Rilwanu Suleiman Adamu, honored the minister, Professor Ali Pate, with the traditional title of First Minasaran Bauchi. In Bauchi, Awal Abdullahi, Nta News.
Civil society groups championing meeting universal health coverage (UHC) targets are discussing means of supporting government health sector reforms with focus on strengthening primary health care that delivers essential health services. This was part of the agenda at a one-day strategic engagement in Abuja on the successful implementation of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency's strategic vision for advancing Nigeria's UHC quest. Oluseyi Adeagbo has report.
Many countries are in pursuit of achieving universal health coverage UHC 2030 targets, which will allow individuals to have access to a comprehensive range of quality health services without experiencing financial hardship. Nigeria is making its own progress, but existing efforts need to be accelerated, and this engagement is what key players from various sectors wants to use to discuss on harnessing diverse approach to strengthening service delivery at the primary healthcare level.
We already have increases in the number of Nigerians accessing basic services from our health facilities, whether it is immunization, it's about a 15% increase from last year, whether it is antenatal care. We're not where we need to be in many of the areas, but we are building transparency into what we're doing.
Is moving towards universal health coverage and a strong primary healthcare system. So this is a great opportunity to be discussing with many actors.
For the co-conveners, there are laudable national and states policies for health reforms in the country, but the time to match words with actions and essentially to translate programs into visible outcomes has become very essential.
We've done high-level stakeholders meeting, and it came out clearly that when we are talking about putting health on the political front burner, we have to be very, very clear what exactly in health are you putting on political front burner.
Especially now that we have new reforms around local government, we need to understand that primary health care is important. It is the pivotal sector that will make health change and help us to attain universal health coverage.
I believe that everyone within the health ecosystem or within our polity can contribute to our objective to achieving universal health coverage. And that's what informed this conversation.
The strategic stakeholders engagement, which is themed harnessing multi-stakeholder approaches to strengthening PHC delivery and accountability, is initiated by Nigeria UHC Reform, a coalition of civil societies. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, Nta News.
Supporting federal government efforts at boosting electricity supply in Nigeria was the focus of a symposium held in Abuja. It brought together experts in the sector, climate activists and think tanks who brainstormed on how to better involve state governments in the process. Dennis Adegunle reports.
The federal government has in the last several years invested much in gas-fired power plants with positive results by way of improved electricity generation. However, consideration, as highlighted in this discourse, must be given to the fact that the world is decarbonizing and moving away from fossil fuels. This is, as the West African Power Pool says, it will put down close to 230 gigawatts of electricity by 2030, and state governments, they agree, have a key role to play in this regard. How they can be supported to develop legal and regulatory frameworks that will bring local and international investors into Nigeria's electricity market was the focus of the deliberations, with a central theme: institutional design for an efficient and viable state electricity market.
Whatever the future energy mix will be globally, but especially in West Africa and across Africa, Nigeria should be a key player in supplying energy across West Africa and Africa. And the state governments are in that key position to do this, and they can do this via renewable energy. One of those documents will be the elements. What are the elements that you need to see in a proper and appropriate legal and regulatory framework? And then we have a model electricity law.
It's important that the law clarifies the role of the ministry and government in the new electricity market by law. So it's prudential to have a law that says the role of the ministry should be XYZ, the role of the governor or the state government should be XYZ, vis-a-vis the regulator.
They are optimistic that many states can come on board and join the likes of Enugu, Imo, Edo, Ondo and Ekiti in setting up viable subnational electricity markets and achieving this laudable feat. Dennis Adegunle, Nta News.
An advanced team of 23 Russians, the original builders of Ajaokuta Steel Company, has arrived at Ajaokuta for technical audit with a team of engineers in the company of anticipation for the completion of the project. Some analog equipment will be replaced with digital ones for effective operations. The sole administrator of the Ajaokuta Steel Company, Sumaila Abdul Akaba, who confirms this to NTA, says the team has visited several units including thermal power plant, light mill section and the oxygen plant. 3 kingpins and 16 other offenders have been convicted and sentenced to a total of 302 years in prison for trafficking and dealing in illicit drugs such as cocaine, heroin, cannabis and opioids. Following their arrest and diligent prosecution by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA), the 19 convicts topped the list of 414 drug traffickers and dealers convicted by the Federal High Court in Benue, Bauchi, Edo, Lagos, Ogun, Gombe and the Federal Capital Territory FCT Abuja between July 1st to 31st, 2024 based on charges filed against them by the Anti-Narcotics Agency. Chief Executive Officer of NDLEA, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, commends judiciary, says imprisonment will strengthen deterrent effect of NDLEA's drug supply reduction efforts. You're watching the news at 10 on Nta News24. More reports when we return.
Nigeria, a land of rich culture and diverse voices, where every voice matters. In times of disagreement, let's choose dialogue over discord. Together, we can find solutions through understanding and respect. Let's build a stronger Nigeria, one conversation at a time. Dialogue, not protest. Unity, not division. Nigeria, united in dialogue.
Thanks for being there. Nigeria's democracy can only continue to thrive in the face of peaceful coexistence, and leaders have been enjoined to make this a priority. The call was made at a conference tagged Prayer for Democracy held in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports.
With the theme Salting the Nation, participants here believe that Nigeria's democracy is a work in progress and do not require inimical acts that could retard progress so far made.
The Christians, the Muslims, the children of God, everybody, we are all one. Let us understand and receive this revelation.
We need peace, but somebody must make the peace. Not speak the peace, but make the peace.
While urging peace with one another and respect for constituted authorities, special supplications were offered for the nation, using the first family, President Bola Tinubu, as a point of contact. Timothy Yusuf, Nta News.
The National Judicial Council has constituted 4 probe panels to investigate 27 High Court judges in country over various alleged judicial misconducts brought against them. The Council equally issued letter of advice to Justice Olagunju of Oyo State High Court to be circumspect as a judicial officer before acting, even in the most challenging situation. Justice Olagunju was said to have used uncouth language in a letter addressed to the Chief Justice of Nigeria challenging Council's decision and its policy direction and appointment of President's Court of the Customary Court of Appeal of your state. The NJC considered the report of its preliminary complaints assessment committee and 22 petitions written against 27 judicial officers of the federal and state high courts. The NJC placed 5 judges on its pre-sanctioned watch list register for poor performance and would be recommended for the council for appropriate sanction if they do not improve on their performance. The Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, in the meeting, being the last on before his retirement, appreciated the cooperation he received from the members of the council and the council's secretariat and implored them to extend same to his successor. Protection of fundamental rights of the people is their obligation in both state and non-state actors. By virtue of several proclamations, these are universal rights which remain unarguably. Daily Atambi of our judiciary desk takes a look at how the collaboration between ECOWAS Community Court and the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees will protect the rights of the people.
Asylum seekers or stateless persons does not take away from them their fundamental rights. The rights of these set of people, including those of internally displaced persons, are protected by several United Nations treaties affirmed by some states all over the world. International, national and subnational tiers of government are under obligation to protect this category of people. The protection of their rights brought about the establishment of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. It is a known fact that everyone has the right to life, liberty, and the right to freedom from fear. These are the rights which the collaboration between the ECOWAS Community Court and the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees seek to protect. Vice President of the ECOWAS Community Court affirmed the resolve of the court to continue to uphold fundamental rights of the people.
Now, regarding the practical implementation of the amicus curiae or expert opinions, I'd like to reassure you that the President of the court, though absent, has given instructions to the Chief Registrar.
I really want to thank the court for its incredible collaboration with UNHCR and really the initiatives that it has taken to ensure that the rights of refugees, internally displaced persons and stateless persons within the ECOWAS community, that their rights are respected through the decisions of the court.
This resolution of the court tallies with the mandate of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees.
Beyond the competence of the court and beyond the space of the ECOWAS community, we of course carry out our mandate activities regarding the protection of refugees and stateless persons worldwide. This is of course a global mandate that we have. We do have a presence in 103 countries and in about 150 locations. And our job is essentially that which, in fact, where we work together with the courts as well, which is to ensure that the host governments respect the rights of refugees and stateless persons and internally displaced persons.
Available record has shown that over 170 million people worldwide are forcibly displaced. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, Nta News.
As part of the FCT administration's efforts at promoting tourism in the nation's capital city, plans have been concluded to construct the tallest Christmas light tree in Africa. Minister of State FCT Dr. Maria Mahmood, who performed the symbolic unveiling, says it is a private sector-driven initiative aimed at bringing people together to create a landmark that transcends borders and cultures. Aisha Obali reports.
Speaking on behalf of the organizers, the director of JAV's event, Jennifer Fatorisa, says that the project is in partnership with the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Social Events. Fatorisa also reveals that the lightning of the tallest Christmas light tree in Africa will be unveiled on December 7, 2024, adding that such event had attracted more than 300,000 visitors.
As the president of the Federation also welcomes any idea on tourism, anything that is going to promote the culture and the people of Nigeria to the world. So that's why government is very interested. You can see a lot of government presence at this flag off.
This is what drives us, when people come together, have fun together, not looking at tribe or religion, just community bonding. This is our drive, and this is what we love to see.
Speakers applaud the commitment of FCT administration in supporting and promoting tourism in the territory, noting that the project underscores the spirit of collaboration that will make the tree a cherished landmark for generations to come. The FCT Minister of State, Dr. Maria Mahmood, notes that the endeavor will serve as a shared value and collective strength, stressing that it will shine brightly as a symbol of hope and resilience.
The renewed hope agenda of Mr. President, the inclusivity, you want to bring everybody together. So by giving support to this talented youth, definitely we're going to succeed. And this is something that will also improve the socio-economic development and also will increase the revenue of our FCT. And this is some of the things that we've been doing.
The unveiling of the JAV Christmas Village 2024 is in partnership with the Abuja Continental Hotel, which promises to be a groundbreaking tourist attraction and the heart of Abuja, expected to attract thousands of visitors from all over the continent and beyond. Aisha Obali, NTA News.
Health, they say, is wealth. A healthy workforce brings a productive output. Corps Marshal for the Road Safety Corps, Sheikh Mohammed, emphasized these are the Corps' first monthly walking and jogging exercise. Oyeyemi Ajayi has details.
The first monthly walking and jogging exercise of the Corps this year, and also the first under the new Corps Marshal, is stretched from the FRSC headquarters to Wuse Markets. The Corps is assertive that such enhances mental alertness and fitness for better productivity.
Exercises brings out discipline, loyalty, and it improves also spirit of sportsmanship. So we'll continue to do that every month.
For the Comptroller General, Nigeria Customs Service, Adewale Adeniyi, paramilitary agencies must constantly engage in exercises to smoothen operations.
You are road safety, we are customs officers. We have a lot of common ground. We have explained that our systems can have a handshake with each other so that we don't allow smuggled cars into our roads. So what the collaboration means is that through your system, we can ensure that every vehicle that will be registered in Nigeria must have paid their correct duties.
The Corps Marshal commended the officers for turning up and entreated them to always be professional. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
And that's the news desk at 10 on Nta News24. Thanks for watching. I'm on Large Day. Bidlow.